And hello, my fellow nerds out there. It's Oracle Nerd Richie, and welcome back to our Wonderland. In the last episode, we arrived in the Wonderland that they were talking about, and now we are going to be, I guess we're going to be exploring the area? I don't really know. Wait, but I think I just went back. I just skipped some dialogue. Hold on, how do I go back again? Wait, no, it's the wrong one. Oh. Give it a help. Oh god, the game's laggy. How do I go back again? Oh, go back to earlier dialogue. Page up. Okay, that's how you do that. Do I even have a page up button on this freaking computer? I keep forgetting. I don't think I do. Oh wait, no, yeah, I do. There we go, got it. God damn. Oh, keep forgetting Z does that. Ugh. The two of us are standing over the dead body of Century 104. I'm having a hard time keeping the bile rising from my back of my throat. Genzo has his cap clenched between his hands. I still remember playing hide and seek with them in the sunflower fields. Why is it always gotta be sunflowers? Eh? Genzo grimaces. I mean, you still can, but it seems like the penalty for being found is gonna be a bit steeper now. I roll my eyes. Come on, this is making me sick. We should keep moving away. Anyway, who knows how many more of these guys are out there? Genzo tugs his cap back over his tousled hair. Which way then? He tossed a glance in the direction of the rabbit battalion was headed. There's no sign of them now, but even the idea of being in their vicinity makes my stomach gurgle. I turn instead to study the path they appeared from. It winds to the right of a short ways before hurtling to the left and disappearing behind the upraised mound of meadow grass. Scarlet-leafed trees occupy it to either side. I would suggest we don't follow the homicidal rabbits, but that's just me, Genzo muses. Yeah. Both paths are still empty, and for the life of me, I can't form a clear mental image on what's down either of them. My memories are too scattered and vague. Oh, we actually get to choose. We either follow them or we don't. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I think the best option would just be to not follow them, not go in the direction of the homicidal rabbits. I mean, a lot of horror games say you should, like, follow the creature that you're trying to avoid. Kind of like a game of cat and mouse, right? But at this point, it's humans versus homicidal humanoid rabbits. So I'm pretty sure we should stay away from them. But let's go. But let me save real quick, just so we can go back and see like the opposite options, see what will happen. Let's go left. We'll go left then. Genzo blinks. Wait, that's the direction they just went. Oh wait, wrong one. Okay, load back. So right is the way to go. We'll go right then. An excellent choice, mon capitaine. It's quiet as we walk. No breeze rustle the trees or sends shudders through the grass. No insects buzz from leaf to leaf. Not even the far-off call of a bird breaks the silence. The tall clusters of fiery red corridor, us in as a river of dirt directs us left and right like waters in a canyon. Above us, the sky glitters a sunny orange, and on our either side, strange flowers of blues, purples, and teals dot the grass between the trees. Some of them twisting and curling up to thick trunks of the kaleidoscopic vines. Oh right, I forgot to ask. Genzo's hands are in his pockets. What did you wish for? Go for it! Really? Oh, I gotta see the dialogue option for that one at some point. I don't know, maybe we'll go back and see it. I mean, let's just go with the honest answer. Nothing. Because I'm pretty sure he didn't wish for anything. I blink. Frown. Nothing, I finally said. Nothing? I don't know, I couldn't think of anything. I don't want anything. Damn, I guess you got it made. Guess you got it made, huh? I don't respond. Even now, I can't think of what I could possibly want. To find bugs, I guess? But that's less of a want and more of an obligation. I just don't really care enough about my life, about things, about myself. I chew on the inside of my cheek. We round another corner, and this time the path opens up to a small clearing. An outcropping of rocks overlooks a small pond at the other end. From its peak flows a miniature waterfall, light reflecting off the steady drizzle. I take a step towards the pond, only for Genzo to grab the back of my shirt. He quickly tugs me back behind a nearby tree. Oh, Jesus! 2 seconds later, a rabbit soldier appears, nose twitching, his eyes searching the ground. My heart leaps into my throat as I thought of how close I was to being seen. I stay perfectly still, Genzo's arms clamped around my waist, as the two of us watch the rabbit in silence. He's looking for something. That much is clear. He wanders to the left and stops. He wanders to the right and stops. Twitch, twitch, sniff, sniff. His mangled ears jerk with each change of direction. Where are you? I glance up at Genzo, chest tight. What is he looking for? How if I know? Genzo hisses. Something squeaks. At that moment, a small white mouse rushes out from the brush near the pond. It circles once, twice, tiny tail dusting the ground, and dashes off for the trees. There you are! The rabbit takes off. In a flying leap that has me questioning my eyes, he's on top of the mouse, large boot coming down on its tail. There's not a squeak, pains this time, panicking. The mouse squirms against the grip of his tail, but its escape is futile. The rabbit raises another foot and brings down the mouse's body. The resulting squelch sends an electric shiver down my body. Ooh, oh god. The rabbit's jaw twitches. He raises his foot and ascertains the damage. The mouse's flattened body leaks red pus from the bottom of its boot. The mouse's head, which had escaped the direct impact, hangs limp from the remaining sinews, like a flabby piece of meat hanging off the end of a sandwich. Rabbit slams his foot back down, stomping until the mouse's body is nothing but a furry hamburger. Ugh. Genzo's arms tightens around me. He takes a step back and I move with him, back into the safety of the trees. What we don't anticipate, though, is the slight dip in the ground. Genzo loses his footing, then goes down, taking me with him. The sound of us hitting the ground sends the rabbit's ears skyward. His head jerks in our direction. Who's there? His spear is at the ready. Shit. Genzo and I scramble to our feet, but the damage has already been done. The rabbit is staring straight at us. Genzo's arm shoots out in front of my chest. The rabbit cocks his head first to the left, then the right. His eyes twitching and widens. You're that fellow the king told us to watch out for. He chuckles, laughs, licks his lips. I'll get a promotion for sure if I bring you in. Fresh meat for weeks. No more of that slop. He points his spear at us, then charges. It happens before I can process it. 1 second I'm standing on Genzo, the next, something jabs at my ribs so hard it knocks the breath out of me. I'm weightless, falling. Ground rushing, and just before my ass hits the dirt, I see Genzo with his elbow stretched in my direction and the foot stretched in the other. The rabbit who, less than a second ago, had been standing a good 20 feet away is right next to Genzo. The point of the spear had missed, slicing a red line across Genzo's cheek. Instead, now thrust fruitlessly past him in the open air. The rabbit's head jerks left in surprise, just as his boot hits Genzo's foot. He stumbles forward, unable to stop himself before the tip of the spear crunches into the wood of the nearest tree. It's at that moment that I hit the ground. You fucking... The rabbit alternates between glaring daggers at Genzo and tugging at the burrowed head of the spear. Genzo, however, wastes no time. He grabs the front of my shoulder before I even have a chance to orient myself, and wrenches me from my feet. Run! I do as I'm told. The two of us go streaking out across the clearing, past the outcropping of the rocks, past the pond, and towards where the path breaks off to follow a slowly expanding stream. How the hell were you able to do that? I helped as my lungs fight for air. Just heard him coming is all. Genzo wipes the blood dripping down his cheek. River on our right and growing cliffside on our left. We run. The sound of our footsteps in time was the thudding of our hearts. What do you mean by the fellow the king told us to watch out for? Trying to get out my thoughts in order. Before either of us had a chance to answer my riddle of the question, Genzo skid to a halt. I followed suit, eyes growing 10 times the size of my head. The ground in front of us is no longer, well, ground. It's soft, lumpy, and pink. A giant slab of loping flesh splayed out across the path. And why? Just say you're on clouds or something. Like, come on. It looks like clouds. 20, 30 feet across. It's a tongue. And it's connected to the largest eyeball I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's round and wet and sitting on the side of the cliff face, as though perched atop a throne. At our approach, its oversized pupil swivels to an almost audible rumble and stares straight at us. What the fuck? Genzo perfectly verbalizes his own thoughts for me. I don't remember that being here before. Take a step back from the slimy pink hunk of flesh draped across the path. So it was a tongue. Oh no. Path lapping at the river water on the other side. You couldn't pay me enough money to walk across that thing. Genzo looks about ready to retch. Despite my mutual feelings, I also know the rabbit's going to be on our asses in a matter of minutes, if even that. I quickly scan our surroundings, looking first at the steep rocks to our left, and then the river on our right. The cliffs seem out of the question, but the river isn't too wide. It doesn't seem to be much of a current. Just as I'm studying intricacies of the water patterns, I feel a tug on my hem of my shirt. My head snaps down, eyes refocusing themselves just in time to see the sight of a small creature staring up at me. Oh, Jesus, what are you? I jerk backwards with a cry of surprise. What the hell is that thing? Genzo comes up behind me, just as I recovered enough to ponder the same question myself. It looks like a tomato head? Oh, pfft. I was just about to make an analysis. Okay, then. It's small, only coming up to my knees, but its head is large, puffy, and oblong, and red and bright red, almost like a tomato. Two beady black eyes rest above its ginormous shit-eating grin. Its stunted pocket arms waver slightly in each heave of his chest. What do you want, little guy? I pop a squat, hoping to decrease my height will make me appear less of a threat. It warbles something incomprehensible, then waggles its tentacle-like arms off to the right. I turn my gaze in the direction of point to see a neat wooden bridge stretch across the width of the river. Hey, there's a bridge! My brows furrow. I swear that wasn't there before. You're trying to help us then, are you, little dude? Now it's Genzo's turn to knee me, although he has a lot less height to lose. The creature joggles its arms again in a happy warble. It certainly seems to want to help us, though I can't shake the oddity of the bridge. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that when I was surveying our surroundings earlier. Still, our only other option is... I turn and look at the hulking tongue again. There's There's a stagnant pool of saliva saturating the dirt in front of it, and a giant gooey eye is still watching us. I clench my hands and I curls with a groan. There you are! I spin around. Oh, not him again. Oh, this is like Metal Gear Solid levels of stealth surprise. Only see the rabbit at the end of the path, spear point I ass. My heart probably drops in my stomach. Fuck, Genzo takes a step backwards. Even our tiny acquaintance brings its arms up to its mouth in fear. What are you doing, Egg? I can already see the rabbit rearing up for a charge. I have to make a choice now. Bridge or the tongue? Oh god. What do we do? Okay, this seems like another important choice. I feel like we might die if we choose the tongue, so gotta go with the bridge. Come on. There's no way I'm crossing that tongue, especially when this little guy seems so keen on helping us. I spin around and face its bulbous head and point empathetically to the bridge. Take us there, quick! It nods in fright, then grabs my hand and begins to run. The two of us jog to keep up, making a beeline for the bridge. By the time we clamber across it, my lungs are burning for air, and sweat is leaking down my forehead and neck. I throw my hairy glance back and check on the rabbit to see him just standing on the inner side of the bridge staring at us. He's not following us? Genzo asks with a wheeze. He's leaning forward with his hands on his knees and as he fights for breath. I guess not. I look back and forth between the rabbit and our new friend, who's now smiling up at us expectantly. Maybe this is some sort of, I don't know, protected area? Genzo wipes his forehead with his sleeve and gazes around. Seems sus, but sure. I squat back down next to the small creature, curling an errant lock of hair behind my ear. Thanks for that, little guy. Who knows what that rabbit fellow would have done to us? My words of appreciation are met with a happy squeak. We're actually trying to find someone we know. Some people we know. You haven't seen any others like us, have you? The creature brings up one of its rope-like arms to its mouth, as though it's in thought. Then it seems to brighten as it begins to make happy squeaks and pointing further into the woods. Seems like a yes. I stand back up. Maybe the others came through this way too? Genzo is looking off in the direction that the thing is pointed, one eyebrow raised. He doesn't seem convinced. Can you take us to them? I ask the creature with a smile. It nods vehemently. Oh, I can't pronounce my words. It then begins bouncing off towards the trees. Come on, I motion Genzo to follow. It gets darker the further we walk. The trees more closely packed, their leafy canopies completely taking the sky. Chilly too. I run my bare arms as I look around, trying to stay close in step with our guy. Are you sure this guy knows where he's going? Genzo hisses. All I can do is grimace. It certainly doesn't seem like somewhere we'd find the others, but who am I to say, really? Suddenly our new friend comes to a stop. It looks left, then right. And from the dark gaps between the trees, I spy other dots of red. First 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. They emerge from the shadows like scampering squirrels, all of them looking at our friend and us in a curious wonder. There's more of them? I throw a furtive glance between the approaching creatures. The hair on the back of my neck is standing to curl upwards. This is starting to seem like a really bad idea, Eggs. Genzo scooches closer towards me as he eyes our new visitors. Maybe they're his friends? His friends, maybe, but ours? I'm not so sure of. I think I step towards our guy, one hand out in what I hope is a sign of non-aggression. Hey, what's going on? Our guy turns around. Smiles. Then the smile grows. Oh no. His lips pull apart. A horrifying sharp row of teeth emerges from the middle of the bulbous head. Iggy? I feel Genzo's hand in my shirt, fingers clamping into the fabric, pulling me back. Uh-oh. Oh, it's one of those traps. But now the other creatures are following in suit, all their mouths splitting in two to reveal now row after row of their teeth. all of them smiling as they move closer. My heart drops my stomach and I twist my heels. Genzo, run! I shout as my shoes dig deep to the dirt, but it's too late. Creatures closest to us hiss, and then they're on us. One flies onto my back, its teeth chomping down on my shoulder. My body arches backwards, my vision flashes bright as paint shoots up and down my arm and spine. I reach for it, fingers desperately trying to curl around one of its tiny limbs to wrench it off. But then another one clamps down on my arm. I see its teeth sink into the flesh and blood come bubbling up between its lips. Fuck. I throw my arm out again and again, trying to fling it off. The one on my shoulder bites down even harder, then jerks its head back, ripping off a huge chunk of skin and muscle. Ugh. I don't even register the scream that leaves my lips. The pain is everywhere, radiating up and out of my shoulder and sizzling like a fire across my arm. Iggy! I hear Genzo scream and try to find him through my warped vision. As I step forward, a third creature leaps towards me, hitting me right across the chest and knocking me backwards. I hit the ground hard, my head crackling against the dirt with a sharp thwack. Before I even have a chance to collect myself, the thing in my chest moves. Its jaws open wide with a twisted grin. Oh, Jesus! Probably gonna have to blur this. Then it tears straight into my chest. The pain is immediate, clawing, retching, and tearing. My vision blurs, doubles, twists. Okay, I feel like I died. In the haze, I see a rising mass of pink and red, realizing that it's pulling my insides out. Jesus Christ. I think I might just skip the dialogue, honestly. I see where this is going. And it bites off my face. Game over. Unfortunately, you were eaten. But at least the rabbits didn't get you. Would you rather restart from the most recent choice or return to the main menu? Last choice. Good choice. Okay. Take the bridge anyway. Oh! Oh, the choices are different now. Ooh. Oh, it's like Undertale, kind of. I have like a different variance of the choice. The tongue is definitely the right choice. What? Ain't falling for the little guy again. The feeling is just too strong. No matter how disgusting the thought of the tongue is, something somewhere is screaming at me not to take the bridge. Damn it! I groan. To the tongue! To the tongue! What? Genzo squeaks, his voice rising about 2 octaves. But there's no time to explain. I grab his sleeve even as he's throwing the creature a pained look. I drag him towards the heating pink slab. We clamber on top of it, but just as the sound of racing footsteps fills the air behind us, our fingers and knees sink into oozing, squishy flesh. Immediately, I roll forward to escape the edge, the rabbit's tentacle grip, rubbing down on top of the porous mass. Once Genzo is safe next to me, I throw a glance back to see the rabbit glaring at us angrily from the solid ground. It's not following us, I muse. Genzo jabs angrily at my chest. I wouldn't follow us. He has a point, all the more reason to get across this thing as quickly as possible. I push myself shakily to my feet and try to take a step. But walking across this gelatinous surface turns out to be akin to walking across a waterbed, a very gooey waterbed. I promptly slip and fall face first into the pink pulp, saliva gushes through the jiggling pores. Next to me, Genzo is crawling forward on all fours, his face betraying his disgust. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever done in my life. I shakily rise up on one of my hands, fingers sinking to the tongue's flesh. The bulbous nodules on its surface scrape against my palms. Let's just hope it's not the last thing you'll ever do in your life. I wince and follow after him, saliva quickly saturating the knees of my jeans. It's slow going. Not only does the sponge-like surface make it difficult to balance, but the slick film of saliva makes it nearly impossible to build up any sort of momentum. I keep my eyes trained forward as I crawl, trying not to look or think about the viscosity? I don't know how to pronounce it. Seeping up beneath my fingernails. It's watching us, Genzo's voice catches. Oh, the eye! I forgot about the eye, honestly. I chance a glance on my own to the left. The pupil in the cyclopean eye is fixed straight on, is unmoving, hawkish. I immediately jerk back to the front, shudder zipping down my spine. Just keep moving. We're halfway there, halfway across the vast ocean of pink. We just need to keep moving. It's all in that moment that the tongue moves. It starts a low rumble, like a foreshock prefacing the upcoming quake. When the salmon-covered flesh begins to undulate, giving rise to rippled tremors that send our bodies bobbling. Genzo? I attempt to crawl towards him just as a veritable mountain of flesh rises up from the ground, taking us with it. The fuck? Genzo loses his balance and lands with a splat on his back and his hands on his head. The growing hillock takes us up higher and higher. I dig my knees and fingers into the gooey pink sinews to keep from sliding off and cracking my skull open on the ground far below. The mound continues to rise until, just as I fear I'm about to lose my grip, it shifts gears, no longer reaching out to the sky, but instead rolling like a wave. The upsurge of flesh ripples, crests, and surges forwards, taking us with it. I lose track of up from down, slipping and sliding across the slick surface. Only once that it slows to a stop, my body slides limply down the slide of flesh. Oh, hi. Do I notice how close we are now to the all-seeing eye? Genzo glides down next to me. I don't even have to look at him. I can practically hear his heart thudding away in his chest. Neither one of us make a sound as a warbling pupil of eye dilates, focuses, and stares straight through us. I can see tiny twitches of movement, just ever so slight, jumping back and forth between us. They make the soft white surface of the eye tremble and jump. Quiet. Moisture dribbles down my forehead and cheeks and past the collar to tickle my spine. Quiet. I chance a shudder breath that dances across my lips. Another low rumble, and then a sudden shadow overtakes us. I look up just to see the tongue's giant tip curls around and around, stretching towards us like a prodding worm. The slab of wet flesh engulfs both of us at the same time. Ugh! It presses it into our necks, chest, faces, squirming and wriggling, and wrench my head to the side with a gasp to keep from suffocating. Fuck, it's tasting us. Ugh. Nasty. I push back to the soggy mound behind me, I push back to the soggy mound behind me, trying to put whatever space I can between my body and the groping slug-like monstrosity currently sucking at my cheek and throat. Massive globules of sticky saliva drip down my head, cling to my curls, and drip over my eyes. I can't even see through the glasses any longer. It oozes and crawls up and down my skin, grinding into my hair and slurping at my ear, my chin, and collarbone. Ugh. And it's only once the entire upper half was dripping with muck that it pulls away, leaving me plastered to a porous surface behind me, looking like I've just been frisked by a slug. I peer over my bleary lenses of my glasses at Genzo, who looks similarly depredated. His cap is half cocked atop his head, scruffy hair forming erratically gelled points. Consider that a memory I'd like someone to permanently purge from my mind. No sooner has Genzo's smart retort left his mouth, the giant's watery pupil of our captor moves. It whirls backwards, pulling a full circle before returning to its previous position. Only this time it's sporting thousands and thousands of tiny lines. Oh god, an eye with eyes! One of the lines pops up, revealing another smaller eye, followed by another, then another, popping open by 100 and countless dots of white atop a shuddering surface. Oh god, please don't be a mouth. And the biggest line of them all all but bisects an entire eye. Of course, I have mouth. It puts over in one giant roar. I think it likes what it tasted. Genzo screams as the creature shrieks again. A deep throaty howl as it clutching in my ears. Behind us, the tip of the tongue is uncurled itself, and now the entire tongue is rising, tilting, forming one monstrous slide of doom that ends straight into the nightmare's mouth. I scramble into motion, falling upwards as fast as I can, attempting to dig my hands and fingernails and my nails into the tongue's slick surface, but the higher the tongue lifts, the further I slip. It's all I can do to keep from tobogganing straight down the chute like I'm on a slip and slide propel. Iggy! Genzo's voice grabbed my attention. So I panic, I see him brandishing what appears to be a screwdriver. Never leave the workshop without it. What? Before I can question his motives, he slams the sharp metal end of his trusty bite tool like an equivalent into the quivering flesh of the tongue. The reaction is immediate. He's howling so loud that it feels as though my heart's twisted into vertical nothingness. Then my tongue jerks and flails that rise in pain. Grab onto me! I don't have to be told twice! Oh gosh! I launch myself at Genzo, latch into its waist. Never before have I held onto something so tight. I clasp my fingers into a fabric of his pants and dig my face into his exposed belly. Above me, Genzo is clutching desperately at the handle of the screwdriver, jaw taut, muscles tight. Another roar from down below. It's getting really angry now. The tongue bucks and thrashes. Each bound sends us up and down, slamming back into the spongy surface with juicy splash to take the breath out of me and rattle my brain. But somehow I keep my grip on Genzo. And somehow Genzo keeps his grip on the screwdriver. The roar morphs into a wail, and the muscles beneath the grow suddenly taut. I open my eyes for a peek, but never even realizing I had them closed. I just in time for the entire tongue to reel back, and one whip-like lash chucks itself forward. Genzo and I go flying like rocks at a slingshot. First a few feet over the ground, then slamming into the dirt and rolling, keep rolling. 5 feet, 10 feet, 20. Before finally unceremoniously slapping into the pebble-strewn path like a pair of wet fish. Oh gosh. Twin puddles of saliva turn the ground dark beneath us. My head's still spinning. I'm not even sure I'm still conscious at first. I open first one eye, then the next. Then with a groan that's half agony and half disgust, I push myself from my palms. Thick, clammy strings of goo stretch between my skin and the puddle below. Genzo rolls over. His cheeks are painted with glossy drool. Nothing could ever go wrong here, huh, Eggs? He laughs and hacks another wad of saliva into his chest. Oh god. That was crazy. Ugh. I rub my face until it's raw, splashing water on it again and again, but I still can't seem to dispel that feeling of muck clinging to my pores. We're in the shoals of the river, up to our knees in the water and rinsing our hair and our clothes, our mouths. Genzo's taken his jacket off and is kneading it atop his knee like a washboard. His hair sticks up in errant wet tufts that shudder with each jerk of his shoulders. My glasses are the worst. No matter how many times I rinse and buff the lenses, a prismatic glare remains. I limp carefully back over to the grass and squint at Genzo, who's now wringing out his jacket. Out here and away from the horrific monstrosity, it's calm again. Nothing and no one in sight. Only the trickle of the river current is our musical accompaniment. Glad to know this place is apparently fucked up beyond all reason. Genzo follows me back to the bank. He shrugs his jacket back on before pulling his cap over his curls. Really, just lovely. What could have happened to it? It wouldn't just, on its own, would you? Would it? Iggy, we don't even know what this place is. Hell, until this morning, I would have told you it was nothing but some crazy yet suspiciously coincidental dream we all had as kids. I run a hand through the dampest wrinkles of my hair and peer out across the landscape. A flash of movement catches my eye. My gaze is immediately towards the far bank, where the river twists around to form what looks like a small beach. A dog has been erect on the sand, and a boat is slowly gliding its way over from the opposite direction. Genzo follows my gaze. He narrows his eyes. That's strangely serendipitous. No, I remember this. The sight of the miniature white riverboat. With its slowly churning red and black water wheel. Its benches with just enough room for 5. And its helm of gleaming polished wood that moves on its own like magic. It's enough to bring fuzzy, shifting images bubbling to the surface of my brain. Of adventures down the river, of standing at the helm with my arms outstretched and feeling like an intrepid explorer, just off to discover lands unknown. For a moment, I do nothing. Then I take a step. Then another. Then steps morph into a jog. I get to the wooden steps of the dock, just as the boat comes to a halt on the inner end of the pier. Jesus. Genzo hops behind me as he runs to catch up. To the left of the dock is a cherry red and white sign that words Kitty Cruise on it. Past it, I see the river fork with the right channel leading back along the direction that we just come, and the left leading deeper into the unknown. I point towards the boat of some sort of overwrought tour guide. We can take this. Better than walking, that's for sure. You've gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to stay in the row with the giant man-eating eyeball and the homicidal rabbit guards? Hey, Genzo raises a finger, then lowers it with a shrug. Come on, I remember writing this all the time. I urge as I start up the steps. My ascent is halted, however, by a jovial, high-pitched voice from the other side of the railing. Come and ride the Kitty Cruise and sail the waves for days. Adventure like you've never had at the end to your malaise. I stop and blink. I lean over the railing to peek at the ground below. It's a flower. Brilliant white petals adorn its oversized head, and its glossy green waves shimmy with its dance-like movements. It has no mouth, but somehow words form all the same, melodic and sprightly. Gentle sailor, pack your bags for perils on the prow. Just don't be falling overboard, or else you'll need a towel. Genzo wanders over, hands on his hips. The flower comes up to his waist. It twists atop its roots and is still looking up at him. Cap of orange, scant of height. The pallid yearnings you cloak and trite are more glaring than your loss of sight. I raise an eyebrow. What's that supposed to mean? It means a cheeky flower is about to get its roots frayed, that's what. Genzo rolls up his sleeves and makes a menacing step forward. The flower brings its leaves up to its chalky yellow gynosium, as though slapping his hands to its cheeks in fright. It recoils at Genzo's approach. This gentle flower, locked in its earthen cage, worries not the fruits of your misplaced rage. Genzo snorts. Can't help but laugh. It's just a flower again, no need to get so worked up. Says the one not getting ridiculed by it. Just ignore it, come on. Genzo huffs and calms. He readjusts his caps on his head with a clever twist. Nods once at the flower, then steps towards the dock. The flower waggles its leaves. Kiss my grass, you big horse's ass. Genzo twists immediately on his heels and storms towards the flower. You fucking Genzo! I just managed to grab the back of his collar before he goes homicidal gardener on the poor plant. I pull him back towards the step of the docks. He lets out another snort, but stops his assault. His face is red with indignation. Come on, let's just get on the boat. Yeah, sure. We start to have this wood creaking beneath our shoes. The soothing breeze and calming gale await you on this gentle creek. When through the collector's yard you sail, those with no wish to join must not peek. I stop and glance back at the flower. Genzo nearly runs into my back. What's the hold up? I thought you said not to listen to that thing. The flower is back to its normal chipper dance. Yeah, you're right. It's nothing. Come on. The boat is still anchored in the dock, almost as though waiting for us, and the memories are stronger now. I can see it in my mind as clearly as though it was yesterday. Me at the front, my hands on the wheel, as though steering us towards the horizon. Genzo and Gija in the first row of the seats. Gija had enjoyed letting her fingers run through the water as we drifted slowly down the river. And Genzo, yes, that's right, Genzo had constantly joked about throwing Orlum overboard, something about a sacrifice to the sharks. And Orlum, sitting behind him, would always get that look like he was about to pee his pants. While Bucks is in the next seat over, we're already anxiously searching the water in search of dorsal fins, her eyes wide. I look at the boat now, so small. When back then, it felt like a mighty galleon. Damn, Iggs, you're right. I'm starting to remember now, too. This boat used to be the shit. Genzo pushes past me and throws a leg into the boat. It bobs back and forth in the water as he boards. I wait until he is situated on one of the seats before following suit, not wanting to completely capsize the thing. For a moment, I worry it might sink beneath our combined weight. We're quite a bit larger than we were the last time we rode, but it ultimately holds true. Genzo raises his arm in the air. Toot toot, let's get this tugboat tugging. I look around, wondering if there's something we need to do. A button press? A lever pull? But apparently, all it requires is our presence, and as no sooner have I started my search, than the water wheel in the back slowly chugs to life. With a shudder, the boat begins to glide across the water. I sit down shakily in the seat next to Genzo before I can lose my balance and fall overboard. The river is calm, smooth. The boat cuts through the water like butter, slowly but steadily. Once it reaches the fork in the river, it turns left automatically, taking us further away from our cottage, the rabbit guards, and the hellish ocular creature. Genzo leans back, feet propped up on the edge of the boat and head resting in his arms. I'll admit, this is much better than walking. Yeah. I scratch in my bare arm. My still damp clothes cling to my skin, cold and heavy. We round the bend now, drifting dreamily past colorful scenery. Knolls of gold and green slope upwards, and away from the riverbank, and red and purple trees stretch towards the orange sky. Decorating the ground are flowers of all shapes and sizes, cattails, tufts of white cottonweed. All of it seemingly untouched, with no signs of life to disturb it. I watch the wheel at the helm creak gently back and forth, keeping us centered in the middle of the waterway and continuing our journey upriver. The gentle current is likely to pull me asleep before long. I can't decide if the absolute silence is eerie or calming. I shift in my seat, hands in my lap and thumbs batting at each other, then toss a glance at Genzo. He's got one eye open, studying me. What? I ask incredulously. He shrugs. Just don't want to forget what you look like when this is all over. I bite at the inside of my lip. A twinge of guilt is rising up again. Genzo, I As for me though, that I'll gladly forget. I'm ugly as fuck. I mean, wow, I kinda wish I never found that out. I roll my eyes. You're not ugly. Maybe compared to Orlum, I'm sure he really takes the cake. He was ghastly enough as a kid. He sits up, and clasping it, unclasping. Orlum's not ugly either. You should really lay off him, you know. Say nothing. Well, I don't know. Orlum kind of grew up to be to look a little creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say Orlum's not ugly either. Orlum's not ugly either? That makes Genzo laugh. Oh sure, and the Pope's gonna declare him a saint. Yeeshigs, I knew your taste wasn't great, but I didn't know it was horrible. That's not what I meant, and you know it. I'm just saying he looks fine. Just a little different. Besides, we both know what he's been through. Genzo chews on the inside of his cheeks, silence settling over us. He shifts, turns his head, and adjusts his hat. And finally, damn though, all of this, it's bringing back a fuck ton of memories. I know what you mean. We're rounding another bend. Dandelions and sunflowers dot the opposite bank, tall and proud. Have you ever wondered, If we would have stayed friends, the five of us, if it weren't for this place? Genzo leans back again, eyes towards the sky, his jaws moves as though he's chewing on his thoughts. I know that we forgot a lot, or maybe I don't know if that's the right word. Or more like began questioning if it was even real or not, at least for me. But maybe that secret somehow kept us together. I didn't want to lose the only people we could share this memory with. Well, we're just a bunch of losers who never made any other friends. I press my lips into a line. I'm being serious. And I'm not, Genzo shrugs. But I mean, why did I let my gaze wander at the passing scenery? Why did what? But I don't respond. A sign has stolen my attention. It's small and wooden and perched up along the right bank. The words collector's territory ahead. I've been painting on it heavy red strokes. My gaze jumps up to the water, which has started to take on a yellowish hue. I stand up shaky. My tongue feels like a dry sock against the roof of my mouth. You gonna tell me what's wrong there, Eggs? We're approaching the next curve, drifting slowly, peacefully. But something about the air makes the hair on my arm stand straight up. My fingers tingle with electricity. With a jolt, I slam back into my seat and reach for Genzo's hands. Close your eyes. What? Genzo's brows shoot to the sky. I'm trying to press Genzo's palms against his eyes. Just do it. There's no time to explain. Close your eyes and don't open them until the boat stops. Promise me. Jesus, Eggs. That running with the gnarly eye monstrosity must have really gotten you shook. Promise me. Genzo waves his arms in disbelief, but closes his eyes all the same. They're closed. Jesus. I watch him for a second, making absolutely sure that he has them closed for good. I follow suit, rolling forward and cupping my eyes with my palms. And I wait. Sitting there, elbows digging into my knees, toes curled inside my soggy sneakers, and sweat gathering in the crook of my neck. I can hear the water lapping against the sides of the boat. I can feel the rhythm of the water wheels against my backside, the gentle swell pushing us forward. Calm, quiet. I chew on the inside of my cheek, fingers sticky and forehead damp. Waiting. We must be past the curve now. What am I doing sitting here like this? Ridiculous. And to make Genzo play along too? What an idiot. There's nothing out there. Tendrils of shame work their way up to my chest, making my face feel flushed and hot. Is it just me or is the music picking up? My stomach feels like it's being tied in 50 different knots. Stupid. I should just look already. There's nothing there. All I do is overreact. My cheeks, my neck, my back. I feel so hot with embarrassment. My breath comes out shaking feverishly with moisture in my breast. Do not open your eyes. Oh, this actually reminds me of that game, Don't Open Your Eyes. Oh, remember that? Where you had to keep your eyes closed because you're sleeping? And you keep seeing this monster and you're describing his characteristics and stuff? I'm a disgrace. Just look already, you idiot. The smart thing would be to not look. Okay? I'm gonna be smart about this. I am not going to be looking. I press my hands into my eyes hard enough to make them pound. And in that instant of pain, the heat leaves. My chest unclenches. Coldness washes over my body like a breath of fresh air. What the fuck was I just thinking? I wipe my damn forehead by keeping my eyes clamped shut. What weird thoughts. I rock my heels back and forth, lick my lips. There's still only the sound of the water past the boat, a gentle rocking motion. Hard to believe I've just been berating myself for wanting to play a little bit safe. Though I have to admit, I am a bit curious. Who was the collector, and what is this territory of his? Why aren't we allowed to see it? The back of my neck tingles with curiosity, a tangible feeling of yearning. It spreads down my back, pin pricks that dance with excitement. I want to see it. I want to see what's there. My eyelids flutter momentarily. The thrill that sends up and down my spine is enough to make my heart jump. I need to know. This is the single thought that's consumed me. I can't stop thinking about it. It's unstoppable need. Do not look, okay? Stop being stupid, Iggy. My lips curl upwards just thinking about it. My breath grows heavy with excitement. I will know. I don't think you want to know. And I'm hoping it's something, and if he does look at it, I'm hoping it's something I'm hoping it's probably something I don't have to blur. Because I might have to blur some things in this episode. Another flutter, my body throbs with it. Heart thudding faster and faster as adrenaline pumps through my veins. I brace myself. Do not. Don't look. Don't you dare look, Iggy. Then I shake my head. No. What am I even thinking? I take a deep breath, clearing my thoughts. I feel the dire craving that had been racking my body a mere moments ago drip away. My body feels heavy and cold, like someone's draped a hefty blanket over my shoulders. My breath comes out ragged, as though I just run a marathon. Row your boat gently down the stream. My lips move noisily with the words. Merrily, life is but a dream. I clench my eyes even tighter, trying to ward off the feeling of dread crawling up my skin. Concentrate on the words. Don't think about anything else. No thoughts, head empty. Row your boat gently down the stream. I nod my head with the rhythm. Merrily, life is but a dream. Even my heart seems to be pounding in time. I can feel in my arm, warm, throbbing heat wants to burst out of my veins. Merrily, my head swims. Merrily. I rock back and forth, my heels humming beneath my breath. Life is but a dream. Iggy, we're here. We made it. You can open your eyes now. I sit up, unsure. Genzo's voice comes from the right and turns towards the front of the ship. He sounds confident, assured. Come on, Iggy. But I don't move. I don't open my eyes. Something's not right. I shake my head, take deep breaths, start humming anew. I cross my arms in front of my chest, hands to my shoulders this time. I lean forward and back and forward and back and forward. Iggy! Genzo's voice is sharp this time, scared. Iggy, help! Iggy! I hum louder. Then comes a screaming, desperate pain. Fuck. I clench my eyes even tighter, but it's not tight enough to stop the tears from escaping out the corners. I bite down on my tongue. The sheer terror of the shrieks gouges my heart, hollowing it out each renewed onslaught. It sounded like it's being torn apart. The tears grow heavy and dribble down the cheeks and pool beneath my chin. Iggy! Don't look. Do not look. Whatever you do not look. I bite down on my lips so hard I can taste blood in my mouth. It's not real. 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 Bo hits something and comes to a sudden stop, sending me flying to the floor. I open my eyes. Bright. That's the first thing I notice. I had my eyes closed so long that the orange daylight now seems to exceptionally brilliant. Whoa. I blink again and glare, tears still streaking down my cheeks, and attempt to survey my surroundings. Right under the dock, bobbing lazily in the water. Genzo still hunkered down in the sea across from the one I'd been occupying moments earlier. His eyes closed and features contorted. I push myself to my feet with a wobble and stumble towards him. Genzo! My hands are on his shoulders. When he doesn't respond, I give him a shake, which finally roasts him from his focus. He looks at me in confusion, face white and eyes strained. I can see beads of perspiration dappling on his cheeks and forehead. What is this? What is it? The boat stopped. I guess that means we should be off. Oh, sure. Yeah. You okay? Oh, yeah, sure. He pulls at his collar, rises to his feet. Guess I just got a little, seasick there. We disembark the boat in silence. And stand on the dock, unmoving. Alright, I think I'm going to leave this episode here for now, guys. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I know it's kind of an awkward place to leave off again. But it's kind of getting close to lunchtime. I gotta eat, you know. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and be sure to share this video with your friends because it's good for the algorithm. And also, make sure you subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason.